Energy is all around us. In fact, it is of us. Everything we see, we smell, touch, taste, hear is all made up of energy, and even more so those things that we just know. We just sense, we can just feel it in our tummies, we can tell when someone's lying or when something bad's going to happen. Well, that's energy too. Even you and I are made up of nothing more than energy particles buzzing around in whatever particular matter they may be. Water, skin, flesh, blood, all of it. All of those cells are energy, just like everything else around us that we can see, and most of it we can't. And the important thing to remember about energy is that it cannot be destroyed. You cannot delete or cancel energy, but you can transmute it or transform it. And so our own personal energy and the energy fields that we are made up of and transmit to the rest of the energy in the universe can attract or repel certain types of people, events, or outcomes depending on what energy frequency we are vibrating at. That is why the Beach Boys sang about good vibrations in the 60s. The higher the frequency of your energy or vibration, the lighter you feel in your physical, emotional, and mental bodies. You experience greater personal power, more clarity. You feel more peace, more love, and more joy. You have little, if any, discomfort or pain in your physical body, and your emotions are easily dealt with. No one can really explain why, and some explain this phenomenon through religion, and they might label this universal consciousness and this energy with concepts such as God or Buddha. They might call it Allah or the creator, yin and yang energy, the Hindu gods, the sun, the supreme, the Tao, source. In fact, there are 104 different labels used to describe the ultimate realities of existence. Now, we aren't really concerned with what it is or why it works, but we are interested in how to use the principles of energy in order to heal. To do this, we're going to look at the body's own energy system and look at how we can use lots of different techniques and practices to actually unblock and unlock our energy. So we can raise our vibration and release the negative energy that is stuck with us after experiencing prolonged toxic behaviours and treatments. The benefits of this to us are so many, and the more of this kind of energy work you engage in and undertake, the more benefits you'll feel. You can even unlock what feel like actual miracles. But our focus for this module is how you can utilise energy healing work to facilitate better sleep. Before we do that and talk about why sleep is such an important part of the healing journey, let's just do a quick introduction to the chakras and explain what they are. Chakras are energy centres within the human body that help to regulate organ function, our immune system, and our emotions. And when you're feeling a little off balance in your chakras, it's very important to know how you can realign them back into place, as the balance of chakras is very important to your body and health. When one of your chakras is blocked, it is thought to manifest as an imbalance in the body, mind, and spirit. An imbalance of chakras can also result in weakness in your emotional behaviour and a breakdown of your physical state. If you have achiness or stiffness in your body, or you're experiencing recurring emotions and fears, your chakras may be blocked, thus causing this imbalance. So let's have a look at where the chakras are located, which colour is associated with each one, and some of the symptoms that you might be experiencing if there's a blockage. The first chakra is the root chakra, and this one is located at the base of your spine. This chakra is about being grounded and feeling at home in situations. If it's open, you'll feel safe, stable, and secure. You'll feel present and connected to your physical body. But if you feel fearful or nervous a lot of the time, or often feel unwelcome in situations, then it is likely that your root chakra is underactive. And this chakra is very much associated with survival and security. So imbalances here are really common for survivors of domestic abuse. Some of the physical symptoms that you may experience with a blocked root chakra include sluggishness, colon issues or bladder issues, or any issues with elimination, lower back problems, problems with your left arm, your left leg, or your left foot, and inflammation or cramping. And people with an overactive root chakra are often very materialistic and greedy and obsessed with security, and they resist change. So the next chakra is located in the lower abdomen, and this is called the Sacral Chakra, and the colour we associate to this chakra is orange. Now, when this one is open and balanced, our feelings flow very freely and we're able to express them without being overly emotional. And since this chakra is really associated with creativity, with play and joy and sexuality, when it's in balance, we have no problem expressing our sexuality or our intimacy. And we can often find that when the sacral chakra is underactive, then you tend to be quite stiff and unemotional. Maybe you're closed off to people or avoid talking about things. And the opposite happens when it's overactive. In that sense, people tend to be emotional all the time or hypersexual and attached to other people. Physical symptoms such as anemia, hypoglycemia, lower back pain, joint problems, low energy, spleen and kidney issues, and premenstrual syndrome can also be a result of an imbalance of the sacral chakra. The third chakra, as we move up the body, which is the direction we always work in with the chakras, is the solar plexus, and this one is located just below the rib cage. Now, physical symptoms of the solar plexus chakra being blocked include nausea, bloating, all other digestive issues really, and it's here that we often feel anxiety. And this is because this yellow energy center is all about our feelings of being in control and having a good level of self-esteem. The feeling of anxiety is felt when we feel unable to get the outcome we want because we feel passive or indecisive and unable to affect the outcome because we might doubt in our abilities or our own personal power. People who are aggressive and domineering are often experiencing overactivity in this chakra. And so we move on up and we come to the heart chakra, and it's this chakra which is associated to love, kindness and affection. So it's unsurprising that people who are cold and distant often have an underactive heart chakra, and those who can be overbearing or suffocating with love and affection are experiencing an overactive chakra. In order to seek balance in the heart chakra, spending time in nature can have a wonderful impact because the colour of this chakra is green. And when this chakra is open, you're compassionate and you're friendly. But if you are experiencing a blockage, the physical symptoms can manifest as heart palpitations, chest pain, poor circulation, heart conditions, high or low blood pressure, or difficulty breathing. As we keep moving up the body, we're going to move up to the blue energy center, and here we're going to find the throat chakra. And this one's all about communication, about self-expression and our judgment. So when everything is all tickety-boo in this area, you'll find you have no problems with expressing yourself, or your needs, or your wants, or your opinions in a way that is engaging and healthy. This can also be through art or creativity too, like writing and poetry. It's expression, and it happens very easily when this chakra is in alignment. But when you're experiencing a blocked throat chakra, you may feel very shy, very introverted and unable to speak your truth. And physical symptoms like a thyroid imbalance or sore throat or hearing difficulties are most associated with a blockage here. One survivor that I know spent around 2 months backwards and forwards to the doctors with a throat infection that just wasn't responding to antibiotics. And even though the doctor kept on prescribing stronger and stronger doses, it was only when the lady started speaking her truth about what was going on in the relationship that the infection actually lifted and she was able to bring her chakra back into balance. So for those who have an overactive throat chakra, they may find that they speak too much or they're bad listeners and they dominate conversation rather than engaging with the other person. So let's keep moving up the body and we come to the third eye chakra, which is located right between your eyes. And this one is directly linked to our intuition and our ability to visualize or look at situations from various perspectives. We might notice physical signs like tension in the brow area, headaches, eye strain, blurred vision, sinus problems or hearing problems, or even dizziness when this one is blocked. And when it's underactive, we also see that people are very reliant on authorities or social belief systems that are very rigid when this is blocked. They follow those beliefs blindly, not really thinking for themselves. But on the other hand, when this one's overactive, people tend to spend a lot of time away with the fairies, as it were, in a world of fantasy. And so the final chakra, the last one that is located inside the body, is the crown chakra. And the crown chakra is all about wisdom, connecting with the universal consciousness and being one with the world. When this chakra is open, you're unprejudiced and you're aware of the world and the role you play in making up the greater collective. For anyone who has an underactive crown chakra, they might feel disconnected from anything relating to spirituality. Now, that's not necessarily religion, but just be very rigid in their thinking and not really think around things. Those that have an overactive crown are often highly spiritual and may be ignoring their bodily needs as they intellectualize everything rather than act on what's actually being revealed. And a blocked crown chakra has the physical symptoms of poor coordination, chronic tension, headaches, or exhaustion. So now we've looked at the chakra system and where our emotions can be found inside our bodies and how when they're blocked, we can see this in our mood, our physical and our mental health. The big question is, how can we start to work with these energy centers and unblock them and benefit from the sense of flow that this brings? Well, first of all, it's important to mention that this is ongoing work. There's no one single chakra cleansing activity which just unblocks us for life. Since energy is constantly around us and of us, it's perfectly normal to pick up energy from somewhere and for it to accumulate in one of the centres, and then for us to notice this in our physical or mental health after a short time. That's why, like with mindfulness activities, frequent, simple and easy to carry out practices that keep our energy fields cleansed are the best way to maintain healing. But at first, our chakras tend to need some pretty intensive treatment. But don't worry, you can do this yourself, or you can seek out help from an energy healer, an acupuncturist, a Chinese medicine practitioner, or an Ayurvedic doctor, maybe a Reiki healer or a quantum healer. However you choose to undertake this kind of healing work, know that whenever your intention is to heal, then you will have a positive impact and you can resolve this trauma that is locked inside your body. There are 3 ways that I personally like to conduct regular chakra cleansing and rebalancing. And the first is through meditation, by visualizing the chakras being cleaned or spinning and slowing the wheel of energy at that chakra in my mind. It's also possible to use colour therapy to rebalance your own chakras, and since training and qualifying as a colour therapist, I'm continually amazed how using colour really does heal. And without going into all the details of how colour works, it is fundamentally about the principles of light. A colour is just a particular frequency of light, and as such, each colour is an energy vibrating at different speeds. Colour healing works by releasing blocked and distorted energy patterns, and it enables our innate intelligence to operate freely and restore physical, mental, emotional and spiritual health. So how can you give yourself some colour therapy? Well, there are a number of ways. The first is to use scarves or silks or clothing. And if you wake up feeling particularly off centre, just take a moment to tune into your body, trust your intuition as it guides you to the chakra that's off balance, and then head over to your wardrobe and select a colour that matches that chakra. Or at the end of the day, lie with a blanket, silk or scarf draped over any lightly coloured clothing or onto your naked skin or your back to rebalance the chakra that you feel is blocked. Another way is to use clear coloured glass or colour filtered glass and fill it with fresh mineral water, and then place the glass on a south sill or a wall for a couple of hours, and then store your solarized water in the refrigerator to drink through the day, or you can add it to your bath water. Red, orange and yellow are stimulating, so you should be consuming those during the day, whereas blue, indigo and violet are calming, so they're for the afternoon or the evening. And you can even energize your essential oils this way and use them for massage. Light boxes or smart bulbs are another way to apply colour to the body with the intention to heal. Or finally, you can use cards or shapes or circles of a particular colour and focus your attention on them for around 15 minutes. Now, this is especially good if you struggle to visualise. And after around 15 minutes, you should feel rebalanced and rested. Now, another modality I like to unblock the chakras with is using sound therapy. And much like colour therapy, this works by applying certain frequencies of energy to the chakras in order to unblock and rebalance them. And there are lots of different frequencies that you can use. And once you've got an idea of which chakra needs your attention, it can be really amazing how quickly you can feel better just by listening to music played at the right frequency. So, what has all of this got to do with sleep? Well, the effects of lack of sleep are pretty well known, and we can all recognise feeling grumpy, not working at our best. But did you know that sleep deprivation can also have profound consequences on your physical health? Regular poor sleep puts you at risk of serious medical conditions, including obesity, heart disease, and diabetes, and it shortens your life expectancy. And after spending so much time in fight or flight mode or in a sympathetic nervous state, the impacts of poor sleep on survivors of domestic abuse are many and complex. It's become clear that a solid night's sleep is essential for a long and healthy life. Yet, when we have experienced trauma, it's quite likely that we are still even sleeping in survival mode, which means our body just isn't able to access that parasympathetic response it needs to heal at a core level. So, most of us need around 8 hours of good quality sleep a night to function properly, but some need more and some need less. What matters most is that you find out how much sleep you need and then try to achieve it. As a general rule, if you wake up tired and spend the day longing for the chance to have a nap or a good night's sleep, it's likely that you're not getting enough sleep. Now, as survivors that have escaped and are now safe, there are usually 3 reasons we're awake at 3 o'clock in the morning. And the first is that we are physically uncomfortable. The second is that an abuser has used sleep to control us, dictated bedtimes, or kept us up when we are tired, or woken us up through the night. Maybe they've even abused us sexually whilst we are asleep, and so our relationship with sleep has been severely affected. And the final reason, and one that is linked to both of those, is that our mind just won't rest. By carrying out that chakra work and rebalancing those areas that might be causing us to suffer physically and emotionally, one of the resulting and most transformative benefits is better sleep. In order to heal, we need to be spending as much time in that parasympathetic state or that rest and digest mode as possible. We need as much energy clearing, cell renewing sleep that we can get. And if you've recently escaped, the chances are you're utterly exhausted yet unable to sleep. So improving your sleep quality and feeling rested is one of the most effective ways to raise your vibration. And when we start talking about the law of attraction, you're going to realize why raising your vibration is something that you really want to do. Let's have a little look at some of the things that you can start to incorporate into your daily routine that could really help you to take control of your sleep and, more importantly, help you to have a method of falling back to sleep when you're consumed by your thoughts for hours in the night. Sleep is a topic that I am personally really fascinated by, and improving my relationship with sleep after escaping was a huge part of my own personal journey. My abuser used sleep deprivation as a form of control. So when I escaped, I had no idea how to rest. I was used to existing on very little sleep and was always sleeping with one eye open, as it were. And since I was pregnant when I fled, I knew that my body and my baby needed as much rest as possible. So I really took control over my sleep, and I implemented a lot of sleep hygiene and chakra cleansing tips, and I meditated, and I still do, every night. And it means that if I do wake up, I have a tried and trusted method to go straight back into a slumber with those skills learned through mindfulness practice, through being present and using breathing techniques. I found that I would wake in the night and just be wide awake. And so I started to use that time to heal rather than stress about falling back to sleep. I'd go through colour visualizations or play healing music at different frequencies, working through those chakras every night. And I'd start at the root and then move up the body. And some nights I'd cleanse 2 or 3 chakras before falling back to sleep, and others it would take just one. And so the next night I would move on to the next chakra. And I just kept on with this pattern. Each time I woke up, I knew what I needed to do. Put on a colour visualization of the relevant chakra, or listen to the frequency, and just allow my body to heal. Trust that by creating the right energetic environment that my brain would get the signal and rest too, and it truly worked for me. I now have a much healthier relationship with sleep, and I enjoy the benefits both physically and emotionally. My emotional resilience is high, and I'm rarely tired or lacking in energy. And if I do have a bad night's sleep, I'm really patient with myself. I see it as a signal that I need to unblock my energies and allow myself to rest, so I get an early night the following night. I know that life can sometimes get in the way, but it really is true what they say about not being able to pour from an empty cup. And a big portion of your cup's contents comes from rest. So do not underestimate how powerful focusing your healing energy on sleep can be. Now, I mentioned how sleep raises your vibration. And so before we talk about why we want to do that and what the law of attraction is, let's just talk about what the law of attraction is not. It's not some magical method that will make all of your dreams come true upon snapping your fingers. And it's not new age wishful thinking. At its core, the law of attraction is one of the fundamental laws of creation, and these are fundamental laws that just can't be broken. The definition of the law is this: you get what you put out. In other words, the energy that you put out on a regular basis determines the feedback that you get in the form of your experiences in your reality. The circumstances, situations, and events that you experience reflect back to you and is a result of the combination of your thoughts, emotions, words, and actions. And these all play an equally integral part of creating your reality. The law of attraction is more than just thinking good thoughts or having positive emotions and doing well to others. The law of attraction is essentially based on quantum physics. Now, often it surprises many people, but quantum physics, manifestation, spirituality, and the success of any of this are all connected. The mention of quantum physics may to the unfamiliar ear seem a bit intimidating or overwhelming, so let's just demystify it. The basic idea of quantum physics is that everything is energy and everything is interconnected. So what you do on the inner affects what is observed in the outer world. So when you make a change within yourself, that change affects the trillions of electrons, photons, and all other types of subatomic particles that make up the vast universe that we experience and think that we are in. But the reality is that everything exists inside of us. Changes in the micro lead to changes on the macro level. So think of how powerful this is and how it affects your ability to manifest with the law of attraction. With this basic understanding of quantum physics, we can explore closely how, with the law of attraction, our beliefs, thoughts, emotional energy, and actions literally create our reality. Again, the key to creation is to remember that you are creating it from the inside out. This is a way of owning what you create. In this case, the creation is your reality. And remember, you can't change anything that you don't own. And that's why the acts of an abuser are a reflection of their inner world, not yours. Since we now understand that everything is connected, let's explore further how the mechanics of the law of attraction actually work. So the law of attraction responds to your dominant beliefs, your thoughts, and your emotions. The combination of these three elements leads us to act in certain ways. So a belief is basically a general thought that you keep having. Some beliefs are money comes easily to me, or I'm always on time for work, or everything always works out for me. Now, since the law of attraction is always responding to our vibration, these beliefs will yield results that match our vibrational frequency. So someone with those beliefs, by the way of law of attraction, will be abundant. The money will come easily to them. They will experience an easy and organised commute to work because they're always on time for work. And they will generally have things work out in their favour because they hold the belief that everything always works out for them. Now, of course, there will be challenges and exceptions during day-to-day life. However, having these types of empowering beliefs will yield a reality of general empowerment. And from our beliefs come our thoughts. In order for someone to have a thought, they must first have a general belief about something. And when someone truly believes something to be true, they begin to attract and form more and more thoughts about it. And so by way of the law of attraction, more thoughts like it are generated, thus then establishing our vibrational point of attraction. It's from this point that determines the events of our reality. So if we're operating from a point of attraction that consists of thoughts of health, happiness, and ease, then generally we'll be met with experiences of this nature. If thoughts about life are fear-based and generally unhappy, then those are the types of experiences that will be manifested. You get what you think about. What you focus on expands. All of this is not to say that you somehow manifested, attracted, or in any way deserved to be abused because of your vibration at the time. Abusers do not show their true colours at the start of a relationship, and because of their desire for supply, they are attracted to people that may have poorly maintained boundaries. And so it's all of our good qualities that attract the abuser, and then it is only as they attempt to test those boundaries and activate our kind, caring, and often people-pleasing nature that we're caught into this pseudo-reality where we are experiencing what we think is love, but is in fact a trauma bond. What is true though is that once in the relationship, our vibration almost definitely began to decrease, and it is this that we may associate feelings of losing our identity, experiencing anxiety, or believing in their insults or their claims that we were the one with the problem through tactics such as gaslighting. This is how, on an energetic level, much like that chemical addiction, we become trapped in that cycle of abuse, unsure what's going on and what's happened to the high vibe match they appeared to be at the start of the relationship. As well as thoughts and beliefs, our emotions play an integral role in the law of attraction. Emotion is a very important part and it can't be overlooked. It's the emotion or the energy in motion behind our thoughts that intensify the speed and impact that our manifestations appear. In other words, if you visualize yourself as happy and with the career that you love, it's the amount of energy, emotion put into that that will increase the likelihood and speed of the desired manifestation coming into reality. So when we're doing meditations and visualizations, it's important to incorporate all senses and utilize the creative power of emotion. Emotions are the fuel that drive this solidification of our desires. So when engaging with visualization or meditation, think about the following to engage your emotions. What would it feel like to have this manifestation filled? And if you're wanting to improve your career, think about how it would feel to wake up each day and be excited to begin work. What would it smell like? Seriously, if you want to manifest a new car, for example, how would it smell inside? Would it have that new car smell? Or what would it sound like? If you want to manifest a new home, what are some of the neighbourhood sounds that you'd hear? Would you hear kids playing, birds chirping, church bells every hour? Incorporate it all in and really feel it. And then in your day-to-day life, act as if what you desired is already here and now. This is using emotion in a very powerful way. And as you can now see, the law of attraction is a big part in the creation of our reality. Our beliefs, our thoughts, and our emotions all play really important roles in our manifestation.